What would you do with great wealth? Would you buy a giant yacht, splash out on a fast car, buy a social media platform and watch the wealth disappear? Or would you live out a childhood dream and buy your local sports team? This video is about a local boy done good. Peter McCormack, a Bitcoin investor and the host of the popular podcast What Bitcoin Did, bought a football team in his hometown of Bedford here in the UK, and they're doing pretty well. Now, I know, buying a football team seems cliched these days. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney gripped the popular imagination by buying the struggling Wrexham FC, and in a dramatic fairy tale-like season finale, helpfully captured on Netflix, the team secured a return to League Two for the first time in 15 years. But Peter McCormack's, the self-described budget Ryan Reynolds' story, is different and deserves to be told. Before I do though, a heads up. On the field of crypto where dreams collide, a disclaimer you'll find is what I must provide. Investments require expertise and precision, so seek professional advice and make prudent decisions. Anyway, Guy's the name, and in the crypto world I play, delivering quality content, keeping FUD and hype at bay. And to join me in the crypto fray, subscribe and hit the bell right away. Now, for those unfamiliar, Peter McCormack hosts one of the most popular Bitcoin podcasts in the industry. What Bitcoin Did has hundreds of thousands of listeners, and over the course of hundreds of episodes, Peter has interviewed everyone from Adam Back and Brian Armstrong to Vitalik Buterin and Najib Bukele, a veritable who's who of Bitcoin and crypto. It is one of my favourite podcasts and well worth checking out, whether you're a Bitcoiner or not. Now, Peter's style is down-to-earth, unpretentious and curious, but he can be adversarial and, on Twitter, downright confrontational. Indeed, he does have a knack for winding people up on Twitter. He famously had spats with Richard Hart, the founder of Hex, and has been through the courts with Craig Wright, who accused McCormack of defamation. McCormack didn't buy Wright's claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, and called him a fraud. And McCormack's also had one heck of a journey to becoming one of the best-known Bitcoiners out there. In 2017, he rediscovered Bitcoin while purchasing cannabis oil for his sick mother. Years earlier, he'd used it to buy drugs for himself. Re-engaging with Bitcoin sparked a renewed interest in the digital currency. That same year, he started the podcast after turning around $30,000 into $1.2 million and then losing much of it again due to market volatility and a lack of understanding. Media interest in Bitcoin was growing, prompting him to start a Facebook group, then a website, and finally a podcast devoted to the subject. On the back of his podcast success, his wealth has rebounded, allowing him to fulfill a childhood ambition, buying his local football team. So, McCormack announced his acquisition of the then Bedford FC in a series of Twitter posts back in December 2021. As well as presenting the team's kit and courting investors, he outlined his lofty plans to, quote, "Get our club into the Premier League, 9 promotions. I'm a Bitcoiner, we aim big." Upon buying Bedford FC, he renamed it Real Bedford, a nod to Real Madrid. And fun fact, Real is actually the Spanish for royal. It was an honorific title bestowed on Real Madrid by the then king in 1920. The more you know. But back to the King of Bedford and the Bitcoin team. Real Bedford has captured people's imaginations, with supporter groups spread across the world and fans travelling great distances to attend matches. In the first month, McCormack secured £750,000 in sponsorship and began streaming games. The team proudly displays a Bitcoin logo on its strip and enjoys partnerships with cryptocurrency sponsors, including Luxor, a full-stack Bitcoin mining software and service company, and main sponsor Gemini, the crypto exchange founded by the famous Winklevoss twins. Uniquely, Real Bedford's emblem deviates from conventional practice by featuring a founding block height of 712,003 instead of a traditional founding date. It's a nice touch and helps McCormack's vision of positioning Real Bedford as the Bitcoin team. According to Cointelegraph, each home fixture hosts a pre-game Bitcoin meetup, providing locals and Bitcoiners alike with an opportunity to learn more about the decentralized currency. Fans can even purchase Real Bedford merchandise using the Lightning Network. The club's website also has a page dedicated to Satoshi's invention and a page warning why you, quote, shouldn't invest in Bitcoin. The page gives some prudent advice that Bitcoin is a high-risk, volatile asset, its price can drop quickly, leaving new investors with losses, before urging people who are, quote, new to Bitcoin not to invest in it. Then the text instead encourages readers to learn about Bitcoin, saying, quote, once you know what it is and how it works and why it was developed, you'll understand why it is one of the most important inventions in modern times. I couldn't have put it better myself. Sorry to interrupt you folks, but I have to let you know about the Coin Bureau deals page. My team and I have been able to pull together some of the best promos and discounts in the crypto space. We're talking trading fee discounts of over 50%, thousands of dollars in bonus airdrops, amazing deals at top exchanges, reduced prices on hardware wallets, and much, much more besides. So just go to coinbureau.com/deals, also linked to below, and find the promo suited to you. Enjoy the rest of the video. So, impeccable Bitcoin credentials duly established, how are Real Bedford actually doing? Well, not bad, as it happens. This year they won both the Bedfordshire Senior Trophy and the Division 1 title. One promotion achieved, just 8 more needed to get to the Premiership's promised land. If they achieve that, then billions across the globe will see the Bitcoin-powered football club in action. Bullish AF, in other words. But that is all for the future. For the final home match of the latest season, where Real Bedford were crowned league winners, 327 fans turned out. Not exactly a huge crowd, but it's a fair old jump from the 50 to 80 who would show up for the previous season, as Peter pointed out. A 4 to 6x increase, in other words. Not too shabby. Now, Peter insists his decision to invest in Real Bedford extends beyond business considerations and financial gain. He says it stems from a profound personal connection to his hometown of Bedford, a small town near London of around 174,000 people, where he also recently bought a cocktail bar. Well, that's the post-match celebration sorted, for one thing. Now, Bedford is like many small towns across the UK and elsewhere. The advent of the internet and online shopping has hollowed out its centre, while the effects of COVID and its aftermath are still being felt. It's a place that needs its people to stand up for it. Talking about the football team, Peter said, quote, I travel the world with my work, but I always come home and I want something good for the town. And it is indeed something good. Real Bedford have recently partnered with Bedford ladies and girls team and will help fund around 200 female players in teams across multiple age groups. In a social media post, the team said, quote, we will continue to pay player expenses, invest in coaching and infrastructure, and provide a fund to ensure the cost of living does not exclude any young girls who want to play football. Speaking to a local newspaper, meanwhile, McCormack said, quote, for decades, women have supported men's football. It's time for us to give some support back. He's also expressed ambitions for a disabled team and is seeking funding to expand training facilities. So, a community man, no doubt about it. And what about his lofty ambitions for the Premiership? Well, McCormack isn't deluded, but, quote, what is wrong with having ambition? Look, we probably can't do it, but let us at least try. There are crazy stories out there. And it's true, sport is unpredictable, just like Bitcoin's price, as it happens. And there you have it, a football fairy tale paid for by Bitcoin. So, what do you think? Are you rooting for Real Bedford? Do they have what it takes? And what would you do with your mad gains? If you've heard of any interesting community stories funded by Bitcoin or crypto, we'd love to hear them. So give us a like and leave your comments below. As ever, stay cool, stay out of trouble, and stay crypto. Breezy today.